Hello and welcome to the shenanigans. It's going to be a great time. My name is Raven. This isn't Minecraft. We're going to do new character and we're just going to do this quick light. I don't want to quite be that pale. What hair do I want? I kind of want to do long hair. Let's do long hair. Green eyes. As you can see, the character creation options are not Raven table. That's a new one. Raven Rebel. We're going to start. So we're going to have a little cutscene at the beginning that kind of explains the world and what we're doing here. We're going to do a new game. What should we call our world? Embervale playthrough. Sure. I'm going to play relaxed. This is the easy mode. Most choice things, as they say, enemy amount difficulty are turned down, resource gain is increased. This also turns off durability. Select. We're going to start now. Cutscene.
Long ago, a wanderer brought an enthralling gift to the people of Embervale. The elixir. It was a cure, a blessing, a weapon. Once concealed by the ancients, its might had been set free. With it came power, mistrust, and a longing for more. Humanity dug the elixir wells, ripping apart the land and each other to quench their thirst. Elixir and blood, a drop for a drop. But from the depths of the wells, an unforeseen curse crept into Embervale. The Shroud, a ruinous fog which sought only to spread and devour. Facing their downfall, ancients and humans united to forge the Flameborn. Now, your time has come. Awake.
Never mind that we just bounced in there, but, you know, it's fine. And here we are! Got a new character, new world, new me, new all the stuff. Alright. Let's commune with the flame here. You slumbered for too long, Flameborn. The realm of Embervale has fallen, consumed by the Shroud. Now the enduring flame calls for you. Find a place in the ruined world and construct a flame altar to create shelter from the dark. Okay. Thanks. This game is very pretty. I'm gonna say that a lot, because it is. It's very pretty. This is the tab of all the good stuff. So right here is your backpack. You have 2 action bars that you can swap between, which is great. And you have a backpack, which can be upgraded to larger sizes to store all your stuff. Over here, it has information about your items and things. The journal takes care of all of your quests for you. It keeps track of all of the things. And you can, you know, turn things on and off and stuff. We just have one quest right now, so can't really show that much off. Crafting! It wouldn't be a survival game if there wasn't a crafting thing. So here's a crafting area that shows you how to do stuff. These are things you can make in the wild. Character. This is where all your armor and tools and rings and things go. You can check out all your attributes. And finally, the skill web. It's not a tree, it's a web. The titles on the edges are kind of character archetypes that you can play or move towards with your points, but you are in no way hindered by one path. You can go all over the place. We're gonna go all over the place because there's just too much juicy stuff on this. We're gonna read a book on the flame and its murmurs. I'm not gonna read all of these out loud, but Pure light engulfs the knowledge of the ancient breed, protects it in a flaming core, wisdom far beyond my own imagination. I could stare into the fire for hours seeking answers, a whisper. But I hear none. Despite possessing a voice, it only speaks to those born from the flame. A shame, as I believe we could have quite enlightened conversations. Balthazar is the man we will meet eventually. But now we're going to head down to this cave. Go through some other early game mechanic stuff. But first, have a torch and some bandages. I found some logs. Wow. Ooh, explosives. Part of the fun for me is I haven't played the beginning of the game in a long time, so they've updated quite a bit. This is quite different from when I started. There's so much lore. Alright, so we got our first ring. We're gonna pop onto our character screen. So this gives us +6 stamina, +4 stamina regeneration. You can also upgrade your rings, your armor, and your weapons with runes, which we will be getting once we start fighting people. Okay, we're gonna wander into the shroud for the first time. Alright. Hello! Sadly, you can't steal cool items for your bases and stuff. You can make stuff, but you can't borrow it from other places. That's very sad. Because there's a lot of really cool stuff that I'm not going to be able to craft for a very long time. Hooray! Here's a return beacon, so if I die, I will respawn there. Alright. I am second level. But I'm gonna save my skill points because I want that. This is very good. I'm gonna wander through Long Keep. Because I think I'm gonna set up somewhere up here rather than down in the meadow where the big red pillar of light is. Here's some more lore. As you can tell, things have not gone well. And this is very post-apocalyptic. Because everyone is dead, basically. We're gonna steal a bunch of stuff. Gonna wreck a bunch of stuff. Got Shroud there. I think I want to set up camp. Oh, let's get some water since I have... Oh, I didn't get a skin. I just unlocked the ability to make one. Okay, so let's check out our crafting thing now. So I have more things we can make. Oh, there's a cot here. This'll work. We can maybe put the altar down here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That way I have all of this ruin stuff to work with for building around. I think will be cool. So I'm gonna craft. Need to go get stone, but I'm gonna make a backpack. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make a backpack because yeah. Now I already have an extra row. You always use more backpack space. Oh, I should make a pickaxe. So you want to get in the habit of mining everything, because mining everything unlocks that kind of stuff. So you get building materials, and eventually you'll get building blocks to make stuff with. Yeah, they want me to build over there, but I'm not gonna, because I want to be different. Now, the big thing about putting down the altar, is it makes a perimeter around the altar itself. And anything that you do inside that perimeter will be saved when you leave the game and come back. So like this hole that I just dug. When I save the game and come back, this hole will be full again. Because it will not be within the perimeter of my altar. This means you can mess up the world as much as you want, and unlike Minecraft, it fixes itself. Alright, so let's look at our altar. There it is. Alright. You can see the outline, which I think I want it there just for, you know, the sake of it looks cool. You are not alone. There are other survivors drowsing in nearby ancient vaults. Find them so they may aid you in your journey. Go gently. One beckons nearby, just outside of the shroud's grasp. Okay, so right now we have altar level 1. So we have a 40-meter square building area. You can upgrade the altar using what they tell you to use, and it will bump this up. So level 2 is 80 meters, level 3 is 120 meters, and then level 4 is 160 meters. If you are insane and require more areas to build, you can overlap altars to get more space. Strengthening the flame is very important because the shroud that exists in the world blocks access to areas for higher level participation, I guess. You need to have a shroud passage level high enough to access those areas. Otherwise, there is deadly shroud, which is red, and red shroud will kill you pretty much instantaneously. Once you level up your flame altar, it will sort of give you access to the next area. Kind of like Valheim is, where you have the next resources in the next area, and upon those resources you then can get to the next area. It's very similar progression in that way. So right now we're in the spring lands, and that's where we're going to be for a while. Okay, I'm going to make a workbench, and we're going to put the workbench down. Can I sit on this bench, or is it... Nope, I cannot. Alright. So workbench is going to go right here. I'm going to take this wall out. Nah, I will take it out with a hammer. Never mind. Alright, so we're going to play with the hammer for a little bit because it's awesome. So this is the building hammer, which you can only use inside your perimeter. How far back does this go? Oh, it gets most of the house. Select the shape you want, material, and then there's other options you can do. So these are all the shapes that you can build in Enshrouded. They are very small, up to pretty good size chunks of blocks. There's roof pieces, which are separate, so you have 2-meter roofs and 4-meter roofs, and then terrain, which lets you do terraforming, so I can make a stone rock like that, floating in the sky. Just like that. Isn't that great? Everybody needs a floating rock in the sky. There's also an undo button. It's great. So I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm not going to get these materials back because it's higher level than what I can craft with right now. So let's do basic building stuff. Using the workbench, you can craft blocks. And these are all the blocks that I currently have available. Road blocks you don't have to craft. Those are just blocks that you can use for roads. Terrain materials are also things you can craft. Like you can make Springlands dirt fertile with the addition of farm soil, for instance. But usually you can just pick stuff up. And you can see I can make a new lamp. So I think I'm going to make a new lamp. Who doesn't love a new lamp? We'll put this on the crafting or workbench thing. Okay. So I'm going to make some stone blocks. And we'll do some rough wood. I'm going to save the tar because I don't have that much. And we're going to kind of fill up this hole in the corner of my house because it will be very drafty and not very great. It's not going to be the same stone because it's not. This is rough stone block. And if you push the F key, it will tell you what it is, but I don't have access to it yet, so it says question marks. So when you're trying to fix something like this, you don't have to guess. It's very nice to not have to guess what type of rock you were using, because there's a lot of types of rock that we will unlock over time. But I think just fixing... Okay, I'm going to turn snapping off. So you have all of these options. You can hold Q and you can shift it forward and shift it back. You can rotate it. Snapping, of course, lets you do more precise or less precise placement, but your blocks fit together the way they're supposed to. Whereas not snapping means they don't. But hey, at least my little room here is going to be less drafty, except for this window, but that's fine. And then I want to take the... Let's do a 2-meter floor. And now I can select the rough wood block, because I have the rough wood block now. And it's also not going to match, because this is a different wood type. But now I have less of a hole in the roof. As for monsters and things, more monsters do spawn at night, but they don't... It's not like spawning rules for Minecraft. They sort of wander around. They can wander into your base area, but they won't spawn in your base. So things can find you, but you aren't constantly in peril. Also, creepers don't exist, so there's a plus. Yeah, see, there's some fell on patrol. Also, like Valheim, you get a rested bonus based on the comfort level of your base, which you can improve with furniture and better stuff. I have just enough string for a tiny chest. I don't need all of this stuff with me at all times. Okay. And it is a very tiny chest. It's not very useful at all. Alright, I should probably make an axe. Which I need more string, of course. Alright. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah, so there's other things I've unlocked. So now I can make this fireplace, which I will make once this campfire goes out. I have a crude mattress. This will eventually work into a bed. There's cool candles. There's a skull candle that's pretty sweet. Torches. Scaffolding is invaluable early game for building before you get double jump and gliders and stuff. Okay, well let's go wander through here and see if we can find anything else good. Oh, and there's a chest. water balloon. The rake is kind of like the hoe in Valheim. It lets you smooth out the land and you can make inclines. It's how the roadblocks work. You basically put down a roadblock and then you can spread it out where you want it. Ooh, metal scraps. I can make a fishing rod. I haven't done much fishing in this game. Ah! Rat! That's a dead rat. Ugh. The shroud is scary. You can tell by the noise it makes. Oh, let's go in the cellar. That'll be fun. No? There's no one in the cellar. The shroud looms. Yes, it does loom. It's very looming. Yeah, we can... mine some of this. You can make blocks out of it. If you want to live in a mushroom house. I mean, maybe you want to live in a mushroom house. There is a quick stack option. You have... well, there's a better quick stack option that you can unlock later. But if you have stuff in the chest and it's in your backpack and you want to deposit it, you just push R. If you hold all R, all of your stuff will go into the chest. Which I don't recommend. I hear you, friend. You're not my friend. Just more arrows. So we're gonna do a big chunk of roof. And switch to stone. And reinforce that. There we go. Look at that. I almost have a whole fancy new house. Sort of. Oh, my campfire finally burned out. That was startling. I was like, ah! Okay. Campfires are temporary. But you can take them on the go, which is good for resting, even if you can't sleep. Well, we're gonna make the fireplace hearth, which is ever burning. It will never go out. And you can move it around. It's not much, but we're gonna call it home right now. Can I make doors? I think a door would be good. Should we make a round wooden door? That would be whimsical. Our hobbit door for our absolutely not a hobbit base. But that's okay. Oh, it's just almost perfect. It will work. We'll make it work. Alright. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so as you can see, the textures connect, and depending on how the blocks interact with one another, you get different effects. So you can make some really cool designs out of very basic blocks. But I feel much more secure now that we have a door. Alright, so thus ends our first adventure here in Enshrouded.